So, to go back to the very beginning of this thought about pilgrimage, in 2017, my mom passed away. I was scheduled to do a 6 month sabbatical, and that got whittled down to a 2 month sabbatical in which I devoted a lot of time to writing a book that I'm writing about work. Our work is God's work. That's my basic premise. I spent significant time in two places, in northwest Montana and in Cody, Wyoming. I cleared my schedule for everything but our 8th grade graduation. The pastor should be there for the 8th grade graduation. So I'm in Montana. I drive to Missoula because I have a 6 a.m. flight to St. Paul and then connecting on to Chicago. So I'm thinking that I'm going to O'Hare. So I get to the Missoula, Montana airport at 3:45. The parking lot of the Missoula, Montana airport is about half the size of ours here at Holy Family. I got there was literally nobody there. So I'm like, of course, this is not O'Hare. This is Missoula, Montana. And so I sit down and I'm watching the TSA people come in with their coffee, and eventually a woman shows up behind the airline counter, and she gets me checked in. And I had a lot of time to sit, so I sat and I looked at this boarding pass. And this is the very boarding pass from my flight from Missoula, Montana to Minneapolis, St. Paul. I'm looking at this boarding pass, and really it begins to speak to me. A boarding pass. This is really, really important to get on one flight. Pretty flimsy. It's really, really important until you get on that plane and sit down, and then it's basically not worth much. I'd venture to guess that this particular boarding pass has had a life far beyond most boarding passes. It really is a symbol now. And I started thinking about our faith and our preparation for sacraments. And so many people approach sacraments and preparations for sacrament like a boarding pass. It just gets them to that sacrament. They don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about travel beyond that. This is a passport. It's a legal document. It's a lot stronger and sturdier than a boarding pass. I'd like us to think about our faith and this journey as a passport. It really gets us all over the world, doesn't it? This pilgrimage that we're on, really the idea came from this journey, and that a passport is such an important part of a journey and a travel, but spiritually then it morphed into a pilgrimage. But still the idea, I really believe, translates and stays with us as an example of how this pilgrimage is going to work. We need a passport, a spiritual passport, to connect with all the different journeys of this pilgrimage and, in fact, the journey of our entire lives. As Christian people, our pilgrimage is from baptism to eternal life. And we're hoping that this pilgrimage of a year will really stimulate and engage us in that type of eternal reflection.